Do you ever feel like a plastic bag floating through the wind, wanting to start again? Do you ever feel so paper thin, like a house of cards, one blow from caving in? I want you to imagine for a sec. I know it's tough for you, but just try for me, okay? A world in which you could only watch your favorite fail videos on one single cable channel. A world in which the funniest people on a screen were Steve Harvey, Dr. Phil, and somehow Howard Stern. A world in which an equal amount of people used Bing and Google for internet searches. Oh God. Well, that world was the one that everyone was living in. That is, until 2004. Or to be more specific, Nipplegate. Now already you might be thinking, hold on, slow down a second. How does this have literally anything to do with anything you just talked about? Well, believe it or not, this infamous Super Bowl 38 halftime scandal is precisely what inspired YouTube. That's right. YouTube co-founder Jawed Karim stated in a 2006 interview from USA Today that the initial idea of the streaming platform came from a difficulty in finding clips online from Nipplegate. I wish I was kidding. Oh, and clips from an Asian tsunami in the same year, but that's much less exciting. And on top of that, the first actual plan for YouTube was to be a video chat version of a dating app, terribly named TuneIn Hookup. Also, wish I was kidding. Bro, what was going on in the early 2000s? Like what did I miss? This may make slightly more sense when you can put a face to Karim and the other two brilliant minds behind this project, Chad Hurley and Steve Chen. But regardless of how it started, YouTube was officially launched in 2005 and marketed as a video sharing platform. Not the first, mind you. Vimeo already existed, but it didn't have videos like this on it.
Alright, so here we are, one of the elephants. Cool thing about these guys is that they have really long fronts, and that's cool.
April 23rd, 2005. The first ever uploaded video to YouTube. And it's of Karim himself, at the zoo, if you couldn't catch that part. Right off the bat, YouTube was clearly more tuned towards casual videos for a casual audience, a new place for all your favorite baby and puppy and fat people falling videos. Oh, and the occasional nip slip, of course, which is precisely what grabbed the attention of the quickly burgeoning search engine company at the time, Google.
Web giant Google will pay $1.6 billion to gobble up YouTube, a company created over dinner by 20-somethings Steve Chen and Chad Hurley, as a way to share their home movies.
The most compelling.
Google's $1.65 billion acquisition of YouTube in October 2006 was by far their largest yet in their 8-year lifespan, and it did not disappoint. The introduction of the Broadcast Yourself slogan for the website opened its arms to anyone and everyone who wanted to share a video for the whole internet to see, probably not knowing at the time that that video will live on the internet forever. It instantly became a new home for connecting people worldwide, a shared space, a community for unique and special videos that highlighted the individual creator. Right? Well, here we are in 2026, and yeah, YouTube's changed a lot.
Behind me, in this video,
I've been here to see most of its journey, ever since I got my first iPod Touch 4th generation in 2010. You know, back when YouTube was automatically loaded onto the device and the logo looked like this. Good times. What, you don't remember? Fucking kids these days, man.
never understand the struggle. You'll never understand.
But back then, I was never really into the big hitters, you know, Smosh, Shane Dawson, thank God, Fred, Annoying Orange, thank God, and for fear I might get canceled for saying his original name, Ryan Higa. No. I was into that
Weird shit.
And it's safe to say that now I don't really relate, at all to any of the top creators in 2026. I mean, every time I've tried to watch a Mr. Beast video, I feel like I'm having an aneurysm. I haven't even touched Cocomelon, good God. And T-Series, well, it's T-Series. Because while all these channels are cancerous in their own way, they do share one thing in common. And that's their target audience. And that's kids, if you didn't catch that part. I mean, sure, YouTube Kids does exist, but why would anyone limit themselves to that corner of YouTube when they could just be as greedy as possible and make billions of dollars from the main platform because they know how to farm clicks from millions of impressionable children? Like, come on, guys. And to be fair, when parents are trying to shut their kids up by shoving a screen in their face, they're not going through the extra effort to reroute to YouTube Kids. But actually, lest I forget, there is another element that all these top channels have in common. And I want to believe it's something that didn't exist in the YouTube I was brought up in. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is brain rot.
Something about just being able to do this
Mindlessly.
Erosion of attention span, erosion of ability to focus.
What if it's because these things are changing the very structure of their brains forever?
Yes, needless to say, meaningless videos have existed far before the creation of Fred or Annoying Orange. In fact, the first ever film premiered in theaters was simply a train entering a station, like... Whose idea was that? But as psychologists have pinpointed, it's this action of constant swiping, mixed with lack of user agency, that separates this new YouTube hellscape from the old. And sometimes, man, I just want to be taken back down memory lane into the golden age of YouTube, before Adpocalypse, before iPad Kids, and just rewatch some of those classic videos. So today, we're gonna do that. But it's not gonna be your typical YouTube rewind. We're gonna be doing it GABE style. You heard what I said. Over the next several minutes, I'm going to introduce you to some of my favorite channels of the late 2000s and early 2010s. The people and videos that helped make me, well, me. And seeing that YouTube is, as of 2026, of legal drinking age, congrats by the way, well, this just seems topical. I mean, YouTube is older than half of its user base at this point, so ain't that a bitch. By the way, if you're new to this channel, hi, hello, welcome. My name's Gabe, I make videos. Thanks for being here. And if you're returning, damn, can you like my videos more often? Like, it's right there, my guy. Okay, so when you break it down to nuts and bolts, as it were, Red vs. Blue is a Halo Machinima miniseries written and produced by a YouTube channel called Rooster Teeth. And if you don't know what Rooster Teeth is, well, yeah, I don't really blame you. They haven't been relevant in many YouTube eons. But trust me when I say, there was a point in time when Rooster Teeth was the shit. It's hard to explain what they actually did. I mean, they're kind of one of these catch-all creative channels, which is what initially attracted me to them as a prepubescent boy. I suppose you could say it started with their podcast, another catch-all, non-niche commentary podcast about literally whatever was on the creators' minds that day.
Dan is a fucking idiot.
And because the creators, with their core group being Bernie, Gus, Jeff, Joel, and Matt, because they were also naturally funny, the podcast saw great success and kept running for 798 episodes. Take that, Joe Rogan. Wait a minute. Well, fuck you, Joe Rogan. And the channel started doing skits and comedy talk shows and game shows, and then split into a bunch of different gaming channels and D&D and animated shows. Like, these guys did everything. And like I said, there was a period of time where I ate most of this shit up. Like, I was a huge fan. But I wouldn't have even known Rooster Teeth existed without discovering their first original show, whose first episode aired a whole 17 years ago, titled, Why Are We Here?
Hey, yeah? You ever wonder why we're here? It's one of life's great mysteries, isn't it? Why are we here?
And you know, looking back on it, I'm not sure why I thought this shit was such a hoot and a half, but let me tell ya, I did. It's just a perfect example of this early 2000s internet humor that, you know, combines existentialism with a video game about slaying aliens. They don't make them like they used to, am I right, boys? Hello? Anyone? And when you isolate episode 1, or any number of episodes, from the whole of the show, it seems to kind of have no meaning. And maybe that was the point. It was just a group of dudes who sat down and wrote whatever was on their mind that day. It reflected the podcast in that regard pretty well. And to be honest, they could have just left it like that. A Halo Machinima that consists of this sometimes funny, simple, snippy dialogue. I mean, it was super popular already. But Rooster Teeth, they made it so much more than just that. Now, before I start giving you an entire history lesson on a random YouTube show you probably don't give a shit about, Red vs. Blue revolves around the conflicts and adventures of two warring UNSC militias. And if you don't know what UNSC is, then you're probably not a nerd. Congrats. Those militias were Red Team, originally consisting of Sarge, Griffin, Simmons, and you guessed it, Blue Team, consisting of Church, Tucker, and a character you could not create in 2026, Caboose.
Girls never like me. Caboose, I don't think anybody likes you.
Well, I guess he didn't start out that bad, but they intentionally made him more mentally impaired over time, which 12-year-old Gabe just ate the fuck up. Both teams don't really know why they're fighting each other, hence the name of the first episode, which now that I'm thinking about it, maybe some kind of meta commentary on the game in general. Like, why would Halo NPCs ever be fighting each other when their entire objective is to fight aliens? Okay, I'm getting sidetracked. It seems like such a simple and frankly dumb premise that getting out of the first season can actually be kind of tough, even if the episodes are less than 5 minutes long. But as the show progresses, these characters take on more life than could ever be imagined for video game characters that can't even show facial expressions. They start introducing more of these characters, like Sheila the Tank that Caboose falls in love with, or Donut, who's just Donut.
Shut up, Donut!
Okay.
But when they introduce Tex, who appears to be Church's former lover and acts completely out of character for what the show is known for, it's clear that Rooster Teeth wanted to steer the show in a new direction. Okay, look, I know I said I didn't want to give you a whole history lesson, and I just blatantly did, but case in point, when I first started watching Red vs. Blue back in 2013, 2014, I was completely hooked. It was an easy comfort show for me, something I could binge for hours without even trying, and eventually in my binge, I caught up to where the creators were in the show, and then it became a weekly ritual to sit down and watch the next episode, and that's when season 9 came along. Suddenly, without warning or introduction or anything, the show just switches to full-on animation, something I was never expecting and never would have even predicted for this show. All of a sudden, not only are we getting a completely new cast, a fresh soundtrack, and actually impressive animation for a YouTube series, we're getting a prequel. The story of Red vs. Blue. I mean, this is so fucking hype, guys. You gotta understand. You gotta put yourself in my 13-year-old brain. This was so cool. Now, as if Rooster Teeth had been waiting to give us this reward for watching through 9 seasons of their flagship show, they drop a completely new and deeply designed plot. One that introduces us to this super team of highly trained soldiers, all with their different weapons of choice, special abilities, charismatic banter, fighting for a cause that's shrouded in moral ambiguity. I mean, it felt like watching a new superhero show without Marvel fucking it up. It was great. And I just can't imagine that choreographing action scenes with characters from Halo in your animation is very easy to pull off. But Rooster Teeth made it enthralling. They made it creative. And somehow, all of this still ties back into the main plot with our original characters. Honestly, looking back at all these episodes now, I kind of want to drop a separate video just talking about the plot of Red vs. Blue. And for those of you with elite ball knowledge, you may recall a certain episode of Lego Ninjago about Zane's origin story. I promise you, there are like 5 of those moments in the next few seasons, enough to make me want to go back and watch the whole thing again and talk about it in detail. But that is a topic for another video. Before you leave here, I implore you, go check out Red vs. Blue, go check out Rooster Teeth in general and their other shows like Ruby, and tell me how you feel. I think it still holds up, even to a full-grown adult. Even with Caboose. So this one I would argue is in the same vein as Red vs. Blue. It's another YouTube animated series, and this time, it's anime.
Holy crap, it's Sonic the Hedgehog! No, it's an alien! Holy shit, it's an alien!
But the story behind my experience with TeamFourStar is actually kind of unique. You see, when I was still a sniveling prepubescent boy, you know, 10, 11, 12 years old, 13 years old, 14, 15, 16 years old, I was really into watching Saturday cartoons on CW. And no, I never watched Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon or Disney as a kid, okay? And shame on you for asking. I was an analog kid. Where my analog kids at, huh? What? No one? No? So when I wasn't watching PBS, I was watching CW. Well, CW for Kids, to be exact. Or CW for Kids Toonsai. I'm not really sure how. Seriously though, whoever can relate to me on this, hit me up. I think we'd be pretty good friends. And CW for Kids ran the same 5 to 10 animated shows every Saturday. So naturally, I, alongside my brother, shout out A$AP Flacco 2, hardly missed a Saturday morning. That is until we grew pubes, but irrelevant. Some of these shows are better than others. We had Sonic X, we had Kirby Right Back At Ya, we had Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. Don't say it. Don't say it. 5Ds nuts in your mouth! God damn it! On some real shit though, 5Ds was a fire deep cut of a show. I'm being so serious right now, look it up. But one of my personal favorite CW4 Kids shows was Dragon Ball Z Kai.
Don't stop, we're in luck now!
Now, I'm not a weeb by any means, but I'm pretty sure Dragon Ball is considered by the anime community to be one of the most boring animes out there. And I think I'm saying that right. Animes? Is anime the plural? Again, I'm not a fucking weeb, okay? Look, as far as I can tell, those who love it, and those who don't really care for it. But for whatever reason, Dragon Ball Z Kai was just the shit to me. I got really into all the villains, all the wacky power scaling. One of the first to ever do it, mind you. But eventually the show would just restart. I mean, I guess CW just didn't have all the rights to it or something, so after a few seasons, it would just start over from the beginning. And to be fair, I didn't really mind that, I guess, but for a while I was looking for something fresh, something new. That's when A$AP Flacco 2 put me on TFS Abridged.
So I just got a look at Vegeta's ass, and besides being surprisingly nice, he's got this weird hole.
Without going into too much detail about the show, this was basically as far as you could go on YouTube at the time without getting copyright stricken or taken down for offensive material. I mean, these guys really towed a line. What line that was, I'm not totally sure. But I really think they gave the show a new life with an entirely new perspective on all the characters. Goku becomes this completely clueless warrior, and then father who defeats his enemies without even realizing he's fighting them.
That's not a pizza. That's not a pizza at all!
Krillin becomes a huge cuck, in every sense of the word. Piccolo is given one of the most iconic lines in YouTube history.
Dodge!
And Vegeta? Well, they didn't actually change Vegeta too much. He pretty much just stays the same.
Bitch, you just jealous of my Super Saiyan swagger.
And listen, I binged the shit out of this show. Multiple times if my shitty memory serves me correctly. I don't know, as a, again, prepubescent boy, this type of humor was just fucking hilarious to me. It's kind of crazy to think that adults were writing all the lines. Looking back on it, it's really nothing too special, but after the final TFS Abridged episode aired 7 years ago now, Jesus, I'm old. TeamFourStar had amassed millions of subscribers, and somehow to this day, they still write, produce, and put out other abridged parodies of video games like Final Fantasy, and most recently, Sailor Moon. I'm gonna be totally honest, I have not watched that one. Yet. TFS Abridged still stands the test of time though, as this alternate type of show that I just fell in love with, and it'll always have a special place in my heart. Aww. But enough with the mushy sentimental bullshit, what do we got next? Here we go, this is what I'm talking about, baby, some real degenerate content. Filthy Frank, or as many Gen Alpha viewers may know him as currently, Joji. I swear, they'll never know how it was, those fucking kids. Filthy Frank was a shoo-in for one of my favorite channels of the early 2010s, like easily. Frank had so many legendary aspects to him, from all the characters he played, to his real-life pranks, to that one bit he had where he destroyed a MacBook at the end of every video. Still don't know how he got away with that one. And his iconic end screen. I mean, we really gotta bring this back, guys.
It's Filthy Frank, motherfucker! It's Filthy Frank, bitch!
But by far, one of my favorite go-to Filthy Frank videos was his collaboration with iDubbbz and How To Basic, among others. Saying those names in 2026 is such a trip. And it goes by the name of Hair Cake. Wait, what? It was taken down? What the fuck, Frank? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Only one of the most iconic YouTube videos of all time was taken down. Thanks, Adpocalypse.
I need to calm down.
I'm not gonna lie, I understand why, okay? Of course, I'm still gonna find it, though. The internet never dies. We know this.
We're gonna bake another cake today, man. It's gonna be good. I'm sorry this has to happen. Oh, for fuck. Jesus Christ.
I mean, this has to be one of the most vile, repulsive, vomit-inducing videos to ever grace the internet. And I was all over that shit. I told you guys I was into that weird shit, didn't I tell you guys? But for those of you who remember Hair Cake, and even the ones that don't, I don't really have to go into the details, do I? It's pretty straightforward. They get together and bake a cake with human hair. For years after watching that video, I got a visceral reaction every time I was eating normal food and got a stray hair in my mouth. I swear to God. There are just some acts so undeniably disgusting that I actually agree with the collective opinion of the internet to want to get it scrubbed from its memory entirely. And this is one of those videos. 2 Girls, 1 Cup is another, in case you didn't catch that part.
Hey, Editor Gabe here. Did you miss me? I know you missed me. I just wanted to hop on here real quick and say I don't think I stated just enough how absolutely disgusting and vile and off limits this video really is. I mean, listen, there's a reason I use 2 Girls, 1 Cup, a literal porn video, as a reference. Serious user discretion advised if you go out and try to find this video on your own, because there are parts of this video that I couldn't even show even with censoring them. Like, they're so bad. There's literally a 3 or 4 minute sequence of iDubbbz intentionally throwing up on everyone in the video. They also make insanely homophobic jokes throughout the entire thing, and they make a joke that iDubbbz has cancer and put him in a wheelchair and shit. It's really fucked up, guys. So again, viewer discretion advised. I'm not showing this video because I recommend watching it. No, this is the opposite of a recommendation. Consider this your one warning to never, ever, ever seek this video out on your own. Truly, your life will be much better if you never watch this. Just trust me on this one. All right, enough of that. Back to the video.
And for those of you who are currently watching this in horror, previously knowing Filthy Frank as Joji and only Joji, I'm not sorry for you, okay? Every hero has his origin story, me included. But I'm not the hero that YouTube deserves. Filthy Frank is. Now we get to potentially my favorite item on this list. And this is a competitive list, guys. Like, look at our last channels we just reviewed. I mean, what could possibly be better than—
Don't abuse kids.
Of all the famous OG YouTubers, none of them did it quite like Ray William Johnson. Specifically, his =3 series, where he reviewed the top 3 viral videos of the week, and threw a bunch of babies around. I don't really know how that was related. So Ray was known on YouTube for his off-the-cuff humor, his fearless roasts, and this iconic comic wall in the background of all of his videos. Which, now that I'm thinking about it, may have influenced my choice to do a similar collage wall in a lot of my videos. But even I, as a 10 to 12-year-old viewer and a big fan of his channel, could tell that he was always trying to switch gears and get himself out of whatever algorithm-driven pigeonhole that he had found himself over years of his Equals 3 show. I mean, I doubt anyone remembers this, but he actually put out a feature film not long after ending his role as host of Equals 3. Well, it was a web series, but you get the point. And as corny as it was, shot in the same style as his usual videos, it touched on some pretty, well, touchy subjects, like suicide. More specifically, a suicidal kid at the school Riley, the main character, goes to plans on blowing it up during prom. I gotta say, for better or for worse, it was a little ahead of its time. Ray also managed to branch into music with this unique combination of decently produced singles and animated shorts to go with them. And let me tell you, at the time, I was super into all of his creations, even if most of them looked like this. So needless to say, I'm so disappointed at the way his channel has devolved by 2026. I mean, even more than Joji level disappointment somehow.
So this entitled YouTuber is so mad about
being a virgin.
Listen, I don't know how this started or what prompted this. Actually, hold on. I know exactly how it started and what prompted this. It was fucking TikTok. But all Ray does now is use shitty AI illustrations to talk about scammers or true crime. Like, it's truly the most low effort shit you could think of. Still, to really understand how it got to this point, we have to go back to where it all started, when Ray quit Equals 3.
Hi, I don't believe we've been formally introduced. My name is Ray Johnson, and I'm an actor. Why am I quitting? Well, I feel like I've done everything cool that there is to do in this medium, and I've had a ton of success, and it no longer feels gratifying.
Okay, I mean, fair point, but then what is this shit, Ray? Did the well run dry or something? Did you gamble all your money away and you have to scramble to try to make it back? Like, what is going on? Like, seriously, he introduces himself as an actor at the beginning of this video, but I haven't seen him in a single piece of public media since 2014. But if you thought that's where the story ends, oh no, no, no. The Equals 3 show actually didn't end with Ray. It went through a couple iterations that, believe it or not, I kinda liked. Specifically when Ray held auditions for the new host of the show, and he landed on Robbie Motz.
To be or not to be? That is the question. Oh God, there's skulls everywhere. I'm gonna go kill my dad.
Now, despite what some of the initial comments said about the sudden change of host, I really liked Robbie's style and thought he did a great job of preserving the spirit of the show while still being his own character. Like an Alex Trebek passing of the torch moment, if you will. And at this point, this is 2016, you know, I'm pretty much almost kinda through my prepubescent phase, but I'm watching each one of these episodes religiously. But as time went on, after 104 episodes of Robbie Motz's Equals 3, he left the show as well. And at this point, the show was kind of in shambles. I mean, they tried to put a producer of the show, who was also a very talented YouTube actor, Kaja Martin, in the host role, and it just didn't hit as hard. And at that point, I kind of just stopped watching. It was sad, but it felt like the end of an era. And the question still remains, what happened to Ray William Johnson? Now, before we go any further, there are a few other creators that helped mold my prepubescence. That sounds terrible, I'm never saying that again. That I want to mention without going into too much detail about them for several reasons. PewDiePie. We all know him, his Happy Wheels series and horror games playthroughs back in the day were some of my favorite content. Tobuscus. Similarly, his Happy Wheels series I liked even more than PewDiePie's, and I was absolutely addicted to his rant videos and animated songs.
Did you know that cashews come from a fruit?
Seriously, did you know that cashews come from a fruit? Because I did not until I watched that video. So, my life was forever changed. But that one, unfortunately, has a much sadder ending than the former.
I want to talk about Me Too, and I think it's been too long since I've said anything.
And I think this can be said about pretty much anyone who has a presence on the internet for a long enough time. Their jokes don't hit as hard, they oftentimes become offensive, and then there's the subsequent fall from grace. And you know, with several exceptions of course, it can be a really sad thing to watch. I mean, up until very recently when I moved to New York and sold a bunch of my clothes, I still had Cody Co merch just sitting in my closet. You can even see me wearing it in some of my old videos. It's a weird feeling, you know, to relate to a creator and feel like you've connected to them on a personal level through their content, only for their actual personality or actions to completely upend that relationship. And maybe it goes to show the main reason Ray up and quit. He saw the new wave coming and knew he wasn't going to make it out the other side. I think it's somewhat of a byproduct of YouTube in 2026. Creators get canceled and their fan base is either strong enough to rally with them or they get turned on. And believe me, I'm not defending Cody Co or PewDiePie or Tobuscus or taking a stance on any of that shit. I just feel like it's crazy that it happens as often as it does. isn't it? Look, I'm not gonna take up any more of this video's runtime talking about cancel culture, but it is a little sad and disappointing to see the people that you know are the worst on this platform continue to succeed. For example, the brain rot never ends, and there's literally no reason for YouTube to ever get rid of it. Jake Paul is still at the top of his game, even after getting completely shat on in a real boxing match, and putting out a teacher diss. Like, fuck you, Jake Paul. Cody Ko still makes videos. David Dobrik still makes videos. I don't know where I'm going with this. I started writing this segment for a different reason, but it got me thinking about all these forgotten creators, some of the first to get hit by the cancel culture wave. And sometimes I wonder if it was really worth it. The people that really need to be canceled are simply uncancelable. I think we all know that now, especially now, right? I mean, hell, if this channel blows up, I'll probably eventually get flack for dunking on Snapchat magicians. But let's not get it twisted, all right? I will always stand on my thoughts on Snapchat magicians. Fuck you, Justin Flom.
Hey again, Editor Gabe here. Hey, listen, I hate to barge in on this clearly very emotional and sentimental moment, but I would be remiss, nay, sorely apologetic if I didn't mention perhaps my favorite honorable mention on this list. And that, of course, is Rhett and Link, who I still actually occasionally watch when they come up on my, Snapchat spotlight series or whatever the fuck. Yeah, their hair video, an actual wholesome hair video, is one of my favorites of all time. Their summer video, also fire. And yeah, they're just two wholesome dudes doing wholesome things. I mean, they really set the standard for that on YouTube from a long time ago, so good on them. But here I go again, getting sappy. Let's just get back to the video.
Anyways, where was I? Ah, that's right. My favorite channel on this list, still remaining a huge part of my adolescence, and in my opinion, one of the greatest YouTube channels to ever exist, Element Animation.
Dan! Dan! Wait, I'm Dan.
Now you may have just watched that video and thought, Gabe, what the fuck? What the fuck, Gabe? Gabe, you're fucking weird. Yeah, I told you I was fucking weird, okay? Seriously though, these short animations were like crack when I was a tween. I would watch all of them and then I would rewatch them over and over again until I started feeling myself losing brain cells. And then I would go to sleep or whack off or something. I would classify this content as brain rot before the age of brain rot. And to think, my parents didn't want me watching SpongeBob, but I was watching this shit? Yeah, sorry, Mom. But these shorts weren't even my favorite part of this channel. Oh no. It was this, an egg's guide to Minecraft.
Yes, Jason, that is a cow. Cows are indigenous to the plains biome.
Something that started so simply as an extension of the Element Animation universe quickly turned into a story that was worth watching. It was a lot like Red vs. Blue in that aspect. I mean, I just got hooked to all these dumbass characters and their dumbass adventures.
I'm round.
There's no such thing.
And do I really have to explain to you why I like Minecraft animations? Just go watch that video again. This was just one of those YouTube series that had no business being this highly produced. Like, it really didn't. I mean, they even threw a Lord of the Rings reference in there. I was in love. And then I really didn't want to end this video on a sad note, but it's kind of indicative of the journey of YouTube over the last 21 years. Creators come and go. Styles and phases come to pass. What was once a legendary YouTube animation channel now really only exists in the memories of those who held it dear to their hearts. But that's not totally true, is it? Because YouTube, in a lot of ways, is forever. Element Animation will always be available to new viewers, unless the creators or YouTube one day just decide to take it down. And that, despite all of its issues and the great love-hate relationship I have with this platform, is something that makes YouTube so special. So yeah, YouTube has changed immensely in the last 2 decades. What started as a place to post your favorite home videos to the world became a haven of late 2000s humor short skits, and then a unique home for low budget or DIY animation, and then a place for individuals to find their niche and their community. And although many of us get bogged down by the Mr. Beasts and the Jake Pauls and the David Dobrik's of YouTube, it's important to remember that this platform is still all of these things. I'm still discovering new and old channels for funny, well-produced skits with creators like Joel Haver and Almost Friday TV. And although it's not really my thing anymore, there are still plenty of insanely talented animators that are still creating what they want to create. YouTube has opened doors for an infinite amount of niches, interests, personalities, access for creators that never really existed before it. And somehow it's all thanks to these 3 douchebags. I guess I just wish less people would see it as a money cow first and really focus on the creativity. But That's not really the world we live in, is it?
What are you gonna do? That's just showbiz, baby.
Alright, I'm exhausted. I've been filming this video for like 4 hours. Thank you guys for sticking with me to the end. If you enjoy this type of long form content, please drop a like, drop a comment, drop a subscribe, whatever the fuck, turn on the bell. You know the deal, alright? I want to make a lot more videos like this where I do deep dives into something I'm passionate about, so definitely let me know if this is something you actually like or if I should just fuck off. Because I will. I'll just leave. Look, I'll leave. See ya. See ya, bye. Ow, oh, my legs hurt from standing for so long. But yeah, thank you guys for supporting me, and I will see you in the next one, I guess. Bye. See ya, bye. Bye, see ya. See you later. See you later. Okay, I'm really going now. I'm gonna turn the camera off now. I'll see you later. Yeah, I'll see. Yeah, no, I'll see you later. Yeah, okay, I'll see you later. All right, I'll see you later.